New data shows more people are turning to passion projects to try to make some extra money, which makes sense, right? Since pretty much the price for everything has gone up: food, gas, rent, mortgage, you name it. So Morgan Overholt knows firsthand about side hustles. She's turned a side gig into a business with a six-figure revenue. Morgan, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me, Jenny. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Morgan. Tell us how you got started on your side project and how you got the six figures. Tell us your secret.
Well, technically speaking, it's my second time around, so I'm no stranger to taking a mild risk, a slight risk, if you will. Back in 2017, I was working a corporate job, just like everybody else. I kind of got fed up. Like I would say a lot of us sort of daydream about. I ended up quitting my job one day without a really solid plan in place. I ended up turning to freelance and was able to make that work. In fact, I turned my freelance graphic design business into a six-figure revenue earner as well in pretty short order. But when the pandemic hit, I kind of found myself once again dreaming of greener pastures. I thought, is there something even better than this, right? Because I think a lot of us were in that mindset back then. Once we get locked inside for a question mark amount of time, wondering what's on the other side, wondering if our businesses and our finances are going to get us through, I think we were all kind of thinking about how to reinvent ourselves and bring in additional passive income. And that's exactly what we did.
No, absolutely. So, Morgan, how can people turn their hobbies into paying their bills like you did?
Okay, so it's really kind of an interesting story, actually, because for years we had been building websites for our clients. Now, I knew nothing about SEO and nothing about how to actually generate traffic. I was kind of like somebody that I built the website and then I wished it good luck, right? So, but I wondered for myself, hey, what would happen if I actually built my own website about something that I was passionate about and then, raised it up like a proper child and to see what would happen, to see whether or not I could actually make myself some money. So I called my two best friends, which happened to be my little sister and my husband. And I said, hey guys, you want to try something crazy? Do you want to try to start a travel website about something that we really love, which happened to be the Great Smoky Mountains? We're all from East Tennessee originally, so obviously my sister and my husband, we were all we grew up in the Smoky Mountains around Dollywood and Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. Perhaps some of your audience is familiar with those locations. It happens to be the location of the most visited national park in all of the United States. So we thought it was a natural fit to write about something that we already intimately knew and that we intimately loved.
Sure, that makes sense, Morgan.
And so,
Let me interrupt you real quick,
yeah.
Morgan. And so what is your
Okay.
advice for people wanting to do what you did?
Well, I would say just take the leap, right? And that's kind of what we ended up doing, because this is something, have you ever had one of those ideas, Jenny, that you thought, ooh, I need to start that business. And then you never really pursue it, but years later you see that somebody else did, you're kicking yourself over it. You're like, why didn't I do that thing? That's what we ended up doing during the pandemic. We took a dream that we'd always kind of thought about in the back of our heads, and we just decided to make it a leap and turn it into reality. And honestly, we did so by listening to other people in the industry, right? One of the things that was really our big success point beyond just taking that initial leap, which most people don't even really do. Most people just, they keep dreaming about it, making one day. We made one day that day, one day. And we started listening to other people in the industry. The two terms that kept coming up for us were SEO and SEMrush. We looked into those two things, we learned about them, and before we knew it, we had a business that was producing $200,000 in revenue
Wow.
in its first annual calendar year, and it's generating over 6 million page views a year and growing. So It's pretty exciting.
That is pretty exciting. Congratulations, by the way. So Morgan Overholt, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time and your advice. Now, Hunter Williams joins us now. There are some other ways. I did a quick search. You can rent out your car when it's not in use. You can be an online coach. You can start your own YouTube page. You would be fantastic at that, right? This TikTok king over here.
Yeah,
so there's so many other ideas that you can do to do a side hustle.